Hello, YouTubers. What's going on out there, guys? Me, I hope none of you are as sick as I am. I don't have a cold. I caught the flu. It's been on 7 days. I still feel like drunk. Anyway, I was going through some stuff, and I just decided to do a vid because I don't go through this stuff much, and also explain something for some of you new collectors so that you'll know. Okay, a while back in one of my vids, just to help any beginners who don't know this, um, that is that this is your real, these aren't the first ones. The first ones are, they're purple and the label's going straight up and down like firecrackers. Anyway, these are the ones, or the second ones that we're all familiar with, and they're very, 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 very good. Anyway, here's how I told you a few months back, and a lot of you thanked me. I'm glad I was able to help a few. And that is, see where it says art number 360. Okay, let's say you're up at a PGI convention or something. You're new, and some guy says, "Hey, I got a case of jumping jacks." You'd be all over that like flies on a freaking horse turd. Well, if you don't know this though, okay, the ones, they have ones that are DOT. There is no difference in the size of the brick, the depth of the brick, or the width of the brick. They look exactly the same. And the wraps even have stripes on them. And it's really, really hard to tell the difference. When will you find out? Is if when you ever open that case, because most collectors would just save and stash them away, and maybe light one or two bricks they had at home of the good ones without even knowing it. So, I was telling you to always look for the ART number 360. Okay, enough said about that. So these are the good ones. Okay. And then I was going through these boxes, and here's a brick of Whistling Jacks by Red Lantern, and I've also got some that are marked UN, and they have a Visco leader fuse, but that's only because they were already made, and they certainly, well, they don't waste nothing in China, you know that. So rather than waste, all they did, because these weren't braided aside from each other, they were only braided on one side. So all they had to do was just leave them the way they were, and just add a leader fuse of Visco, and that made them legal. And oh yeah, and change the stamp from UN to DOT. But these are the original DOT with paper fuse. But anyway, so that's another thing I wanted to throw in. If you ever see any kind of Whistling Jacks, grab them, because guess what? They're all made in the same time era. They were just old stock left over, and they stamped anything they had to get their money's worth out of old stock. Alright? Okay. That being said, since I'm going by, I wanted to mention that as well. And, okay. Now I found a really nice whole brick of baby magic blooms here. Okay, 48 packs of 12. So, um, and these all do the same thing as far as the old ones go. All right, these a lot of you haven't seen, I'm sure. I've got them in bricks and I got them in loose pack. They're called Jasmine's Gun, I've probably shown them once or twice. And if you were to open this, what you'd see is it would have jumping jacks or ground blooms, whatever you want to call them, but with no wraps on them, just cardboard, all right? And there's 6 of them, okay? Okay, and then laying on top of those 6 perfectly are really good old school crimped lady fingers. And then they both have paper fuses, and they just have 1 or 2 twists, and that's it. So you lay them on the ground, you light them both, while the spinners are going zzz, you got your lady fingers going pat 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 pat. And if you want though, you can just, well, they literally fall apart. You can save the lady fingers or just light them and save the spinners for another time or vice versa. These are definitely cool though. And these are just some spare ones I found in this box, along with some spare of these, which I wanted to show you something kind of cool. Just give me a second to find it. I know it's right here. It's amongst these. Here it is. These are a bit bigger, and they're rare. These are made by Angel brand, not not Red Lantern, and they're a bit larger. Let me see if I'm correct, because I remember them being larger by eye. Okay, 1 3/4 by 1/4. 1 3/4 by 1/4. Okay, well, anyway, trust me. Oh, here we go. Here, this is the true test rate. Here. Huh. Well, anyway, I swear I had some Red Lanterns, and they were really, well, they were longer. Anything with a whistle is always going to be in plastic or completely hard cardboard, because they have to withstand 7,000 pounds of a whistle mix, a press, and most, wound paper is just going to collapse under that kind of pressure. So these are made of plastic. It doesn't matter how old they are. They had to be strong. Okay, so what I wanted to show you most of all was that, see these? Okay, check this out. There's 2 kinds of these that are both exactly the same and good. There's only one little difference I'm going to show you. Okay, you got one pack right here, and it's got the exact picture as this. If you look, right? Exact. Right? You can see that. Then you got this one that was usually on the ones that came after this, which are also excellent. If you remember that photo on the right, it's nothing like that one, right? Okay, so what's the difference in these 2? You're probably wondering, if you were to be able to get a good deal, say, and you came across these. I'll tell you, these have the swirls, white, and then green, etc. Okay? And you see the holes that makes them spin, etc. The one on the right, what do you see? They got red and green swirl and white stripe, and they also got, I wouldn't call them polka dots per se, not like these on Baby Magics, but they are dots, and they're solid filled in, and they're not white. That's the difference between these two. There's no performance difference at all. But don't go ever thinking that if, say, you came across an estate sale and all you found was handfuls and handfuls of loose ones of these. There's no difference except for that photo, and you can tell that they're both 360s as long as they look like this. Either one. It can look like either one. And the only difference on the label being is that these are a bit later because these have safe and sane. See them? Safe and sane? This just says horse brand. It doesn't have safe and sane. Okay? That's your only difference in these two. But, and also, the 3500s that I had also said it on the packs. But of course, I can't guarantee that's going to be true on all of them. So anyway, this was more showing you some jumping jacks I came across and learned a few things about it. And was just passing it on to you guys. So these are both really good ones, as you know. And, well, I already explained about that. So, and, that's about that. Well, here, hold on a sec. Yeah, and, I'm going through another box here. And, it's nothing, well, it's kind of cool to look through. Got a horse brand with the bridge. And then I got some duck brand that don't say 50 milligram, but it doesn't matter because they never made a 50 milligram to begin with. And then I got a whole bunch of these. They were not made for the American market. They're made for the Chinese market. Shun Li Hung Link Triad. There's 26 rows of 10 inside each box. And as you see, I got 3 or 4 in there. And then I got a bunch of extras that are like, have some blems in them. That I'm just probably going to use as shooters when I get the urge to shoot some. And then I got I got like 4 of these with no label. This one has a label and it's a mint. Oops, it looks like it was upside down. Red Lantern. This is pretty sweet. And then I got these. I got 2 boxes of these. Hold on. Yep. 2 boxes of these guys. These are really good old time lady fingers. Lady Cracker. DOT. These are definitely sweet. These are made by, let me see if I can read it up close. Nope. Made by Flower Basket. Flower Basket. Yep. It's got the dude with the top hat, the skull. And then I got those, black cats in 40 strips. I got 2 of those. And then these I made meticulously. I call them cherry pits. but they are badass. They're loud. Then I got Lady Fingers of Bango, Mighty Atoms. Now, yeah, they're called black powder, but they're not really, because what they did was use charcoal and black powder. Like all this stuff from Canada has that on them. Mighty Atom. They're folded into two, as you can see. They're all red. They're really long for ladyfingers. And like I said, oh, and then I got a brick of those Link Triads that I got a loose pack of in there. But anyway, like I said, everything from Bango was made with chlorate. So it's chlorate, sulfur, and charcoal. So that's a hell of a lot quicker burning black powder than your average black powder. Because otherwise, that small of an amount in a ladyfinger, crimped or no crimped, or clay or no clay, or no matter how you did it, could never make any kind of sound. So the secret lies in the oxidizer. Alright, well, this was a longer than I expected vid. Let me get off so I can download it. You guys can enjoy it. Alright, I'll be back. Keep safe. Don't get burned. Have a good one. Bye.